Hi, I'm Jo Huey and I'm a speaker, coach and author, and I help people affected by somebody else's drinking, whether that's now or in the past. I've put together this 6-module online programme because I want to help people like me that have lived in an alcoholic home and that are experiencing issues in their adult life. So I think I want to explain a little bit about me and my experience. So I lived with an alcoholic father and I know exactly what it's like to be in that environment. So everything that I have done within this programme and all of the work that I do is always based around my understanding, my experience firsthand. So I get where you're coming from. I know what it's like. I can totally empathise with probably a lot of how you're feeling and the things that you experience in your life, because we've probably had very similar experiences. I put this online course together and I split it up into 6 modules, and I release the content every 2 weeks so that you've got time to process what you've learned, you've got time to do the exercises. There's no pressure on you to complete it within that 2 weeks, and it doesn't matter whether you don't do it exactly on the time when the next module's released. It's at your own pace, and I advise to do it with flexibility and openness and to go with what suits you. Everybody's lives is different and you need to fit it in with your busy life. So I would just say, go at the pace that you're ready. So with regards to the actual online programme, you have lifetime access to it. So you can go back in and out of the modules as and when it suits you. The information about what's in the actual online course is the first 2 modules are all about feelings. So living in an alcoholic home, we're not used to feeling, and if we have shown any emotions and feelings, it's probably been dismissed or not validated by our parents, or we've been told that what we're thinking isn't right, and so we begin to doubt ourselves. So we look at what feelings are, how to express them assertively, confidently, and how to accept our feelings, because it's quite normal that we feel the way we do. So we talk about that for the first 2 modules. And then in the 3rd module, it's all about anxiety. This is something I've experienced firsthand, and still do to this day, if I'm honest, in certain situations, but I tend to recover from it a lot quicker than I would have done years ago. So living in an alcoholic home, as you well know, is very unpredictable, lots of walking on eggshells, and that creates this sense of unknown and this kind of on edge feeling. So it's not surprising that we might develop some feelings of anxiety. And I didn't actually realise I had anxiety until into my 30s. I didn't label it as that, because as with any of this stuff, we don't know any different. This is our normal. We don't know that there's another way of living, another way of being brought up, that there's potentially, proper role models that we should have had as parents. I mean, we may have had one really good role model. We may have had neither of our parents being great role models. So it's kind of normal to us and we don't think twice about it. Then the 4th module is about fear. So that could be fear of men, it could be fear of money, it could be fear of all sorts of things, depends on your specific experience. So we have a look at fear, what that means to you, how that looks to you, and practical ways of which you can overcome it. Then we look at feeling overwhelmed, and this really closely links to anxiety. So feeling overwhelmed in a particular situation, maybe in a social situation or at work, or if you're under pressure. So we have a look at those feelings of overwhelm, and again what you can do to help yourself. And then we look at loneliness. So feeling lonely is something I experienced myself, and even though I was in a very busy home, I felt very separate. People didn't understand me. I felt really disconnected. I didn't feel that anyone really got me, because I was always one to ask questions and had opinions, and people didn't want to answer them, and I found that really difficult. So those are the modules that we'd be looking at, and I will be following this online programme up with a separate one on relationships and other sort of topics that I feel are really relevant to those living in an alcoholic home. So then we also have access, you'll have access to a closed Facebook group, which is with all the people that are on the online programme, and I'll be there as well, and you can share your questions, or if you're stuck with the course, you can ask questions, and I'll be there to answer them. So within the what are you getting for the money, within the online program, you have a ton of content which I've put together from over 15-16 years of self-development. I've spent in excess of £10,000 on my own personal development, therapy, self-help books, going to events, qualifying as a neurolinguistic programming practitioner, and also an emotional freedom technique practitioner. So I've not only experienced these things firsthand, but I have actually made sure I'm qualified in the skills and things that I use with my clients. So you get all of the content, you get all these amazing videos that I've put together which I share my experience, and I've tried to keep the content quite short and succinct because I get really frustrated when I do programs and they're full of sales things. So I've tried to keep to the point, so I've tried to keep the videos quite short. You'll get some audio files as well, so that could be positive affirmations, for example, or a guided meditation. You'll also get some emotional freedom technique demonstration videos which are specific to those of you that have lived with an alcoholic like myself. And so I'm going to demonstrate a technique where you tap on the meridian points of the body. And some people might feel silly when they first start doing this, but once you get over that initial, feeling stupid part of it, I can't tell you how amazing this technique is. The effects that I've had with one-to-one clients has been amazing, and they've been able to let things go that have been bothering them for years, or get a better understanding of something that they've been kind of trying to find the answers to. And it helps with both physical and emotional pain, and it lets go basically of all the negative energy that's stored up in the body when you don't let go of stuff. That's the long and short of it, and it's such a simple technique. So I do quite a few of these demonstrations specific to topics in the online program, and specific to those affected by someone else's drinking. So there's quizzes just to kind of check your learning, nothing heavy or anything, just a few questions, and also some exercises and things for you to do, which are things that I have learned over the years. So I'm just making you aware of all the different techniques and tools I've learned, and then it's totally up to you which ones that you either like or that fit well with you or that you want to use on yourself. Again, you don't have to do any of these things. It's just I'm presenting the information to you, and then you take away and use whatever fits with you and your lifestyle. So once you have registered for the course, you'll have access. You need to go online, register, and you'll have access to your own personal private profile page, and you can upload some bio information about yourself if you want to. You don't have to do that. And you can also track your progress. So as you go through the course, you'll be able to see which modules you've completed and which ones are still left to do. And again, there's no pressure. You can just do that in your own time. Even if you complete the course after the last modules come out, that's totally fine. You don't have to stick to the every 2 weeks. So for the course, I believe I've packed a lot of content in here, and it's of great value, and I truly believe that. I have put a lot of effort into making sure that this is going to be right for people like me, and I feel that my experience is really going to help, because you'll know I'm not just quoting from a book. I'm actually quoting because I've been there, and I show my vulnerabilities. Whilst I've dealt with a whole lot of things and I've overcome a whole lot of things, I'm still a human being, and there are still aspects of things that pop up in my life now that I have to deal with too, and that's normal, because we're human beings, we're not robots. So I believe that I've done a lot of hard work over these last 16 years, and I hope I'm I wouldn't say fast tracking you, because everyone takes their own journey, and the techniques and tools I've learned you might not like or want to use, but I'm certainly going to present that information to you so that you've got awareness of everything that's available that I'm aware of, and then you get to pick and choose what suits you. So I hope that you think that this course is going to be for you. I certainly believe there's loads of value in it. So I look forward to you joining up and me seeing us all in the online Facebook group, and I hope to hear from you soon. Take care. Bye.